When during the answers, God told us to move. It was God that said to a man of God, he said to him, it's time to move where there was famine in the land. There was a time there was famine in the land of PDP. And God told us to move. How many people believe that story? It was this governor now who was the Speaker of the House of Assembly. He took majority of the House members and they ran to Abuja to seek refuge to protect the government of Ebonyi State and the governor then that I was. And we begin to count all the people that assisted us. The president now assisted us. The former Senate president, who is formalizing his relationship today with APC. But during the campaign, he contributed a lot to the success of APC. He's also a big friend of the president. I'm very glad that it's the same speaker who is the governor now that has grown APC in Ebonyi State to the level that we are building an altar of APC with gratitude to God Almighty. APC!
My Lord, the Chief Judge of Ebonyi State, my Lord, President Customer Department, the SSA to Mr. President, my very good brother and the man I'm very proud of, the Deputy Chief of the 10th Senate, and Senator Kenese is also here, and my very good brother, Senator President is here. I'm very proud House of Representatives that are doing very well at the center and the watcher. Thank you very much and welcome. The former senators, traditional fathers, my Lord spiritual temple, very wonderful, properly considered and working as members of the states, the directors of Ministry of Works. Let me stop here and say, my dear brothers and sisters, Your Excellency, the Governor of Ebonyi State, I'm very proud of you. Just a few days ago, I was here to accompany you to receive a lot of very important dignitaries of Ebonyi State, who, because of the great work Mr. President is doing in our nation and the work you're doing here, decided to leave all kinds of torn umbrellas and all kinds of mushroom bags to join the movement APC. And I want to commend you everybody. We have a very united state now, a state that is peacefully united under you and under a party APC. I'm very happy for what you're doing in terms of development, both infrastructure and human capital development. I'm very happy with the legacies that you are extending by the raising of the theme of our campaign that brought you continuity and consolidation of the violence. So we're happy to be here, and let me assure you that God has positioned you as Mr. President for 2 tenures of 8 years. We as a party will cross the red line when people did not give the president the opportunity to allow God to do his work. But no matter what the will of man be, the wish of God must come to pass. So there's no election that will be as troubling as the one that brought Mr. President and you in offices. And so, by the reason of the great and good works you're doing, you have shown yourselves to our nation. We inherited an administration that is troubling. And this troubling did not start in the last 8 years. It is something that has been there, counting and counting. And now, it's either a decision is taken or it becomes difficult to have a nation. And I'm happy divinely that God brought the president to take those hard decisions. And those hard decisions are what Mr. President is taking. It may not be so palatable, just like somebody has a wound. While you're stitching it at pains, but it is for good. If Mr. President did not remove the fuel subsidy and food denial, nobody can describe what our economy would have been. These are hard decisions that we're taking so that we can take our country and begin to prosper like other nations. And I'm happy to announce that we've made a lot of successes in retaking the country and changing the economy. We have always said that the blackest part of the night is at the dawn. At the time that we are about to have success, it may seem a bit difficult. But let me assure you that Mr. President is doing everything possible to ameliorate whatever that seems to be the hardship that you may be experiencing. It's the hardship of a new birth, of a new nation, Nigeria. And I want us to pray for Mr. President. I want us to support Mr. President. He's doing everything to unite Nigeria. He's doing everything to put food on our tables. He's doing everything to develop our roots, our education, our health. There are so many things being done. And I want Southeast people and the Ebonyi State in particular to please stand with Mr. President, pray for him, support him. And I'm happy that the governor has already spoken to our people. No form of demonstration against Mr. President in the Ebonyi State and Southeast. They will not do that. You all are aware that before now we almost had no road project in the entire Southeast. And that is a pitiful situation. But today, under President Tinubu, there is no state that is not experiencing road infrastructure development without prejudice in very difficult funding mechanism, all out of years of neglect and very difficult economy that was inherited by Mr. President. We call for PPP, that is patience, perseverance, and of course, partnership, so that together with Mr. President, we can push and say we should be together, because this is divine president, and it's a man of courage, and it's a man that is needed with great experience at a very troubling and challenging time like this. So I bring greetings from Mr. President to you. He's very happy with the unity that is in the Ebonyi State and what the Southeast governors are doing to enlighten our people and to bring them to play politics at the center. Southeast people should know that under the present administration, we no longer witness incidents of our women being raped at our farms, our youth being killed in our farms. What we are experiencing now is self-inflicted. And I commend the governors for the efforts in educating our youth, not to inflict pain on ourselves. And I thank the governor because Ebonyi State in particular, there is no sit at home on Mondays. It's always a great sacrifice. Sit at home is a very terrible economic sabotage. For Southeast people that are very mobile and very industrious and commercial in nature. And so we have to do everything as a people to overcome this issue of sin at home in Southeast. It is self-inflicted injuries. And we have to do everything to realize that. Let me, on behalf of Mr. President, unveil the 3 legacy projects of Mr. President. And let me emphasize that these 3 legacy projects are not, taking the place of all inherited projects. However, there are a lot of inherited projects that Mr. President has not brought. But the challenging finances has made it that we're going to prioritize a number of projects and choose the ones that we can complete as quickly as possible, and then also commence other ones. It will be possible to carry on with over 2,600 inherited projects and with the cost of building materials. And so people should realize that is truly the magnanimity of Mr. President, apart from over 330 emergency projects that inherited, some of them up to 1.5 billion, which we have its completion at over 95%. That there are a lot of inherited projects and very few new ones. And so these legacy projects are not just main road projects. They are investments. And you take the Lagos to Calabar. We have Lagos that is project taking off at our building way, getting to Ogun, to Ondo, to Edo State, to Delta, to Bayelsa, to Rivers, to Akwa and ends in Cross River. This is a coastal route. We have a lot of economic corridors along this coast. Only yesterday, I met with Mr. President along with so many other ministers. And it's very laughable, and I've said it before, when Senator Dume said that Mr. President is not available to see ministers and see senators and so on and so forth. This is the most accessible president I've ever seen. Most accessible. Maybe if you don't have something to say and you want to see president, or you want to further divide the country and you don't have such deniable access, I recommend it. But let me let Ebonyi people know, and the governor can testify, there is no time he wants to see the president, he doesn't see the president. At least most of the ministers see the president a minimum of 3 times. I saw the president on Sunday, I saw the president on Tuesday. And so, disregard such insinuations, and those who are finding the embassy of division in this country, or thinking they can stop the 8 years of Mr. President and wasting their time. He's a divine president, and he has 2 terms of 8 years to complete his assignment. And so in our meeting yesterday, Mr. President directed that there should be economic study of the corridor of Lagos Calabar. He has directed me to liaise with the Minister of Power to look at the wind energy that will come from the coast. And so we have free electricity coming from that wind energy. You look at what our people pass through in clearing their goods. The roads about the Apapa seaport is such, a very low density seaport, and so we lose a lot of money in doing transshipment because the big ship cannot back to Apapa. But by the change of Mr. President with his governor, he had been married Lekki Seaport. And that project is going on, that's where the legacy project is passing through with a train and a middle of the road. And so what it means is that our people can now claim their use as big seaports, and through the train that we run all the way from the deep seaport to Calabar, or through this coastal route, it becomes very easy for our people to claim their use, and commerce will be increased in Southeast. We also have a lot of lands were planning along the corridor, and when people were talking about few shanties in the name of tourism, infrastructure, what we destroyed, they were just shanties. We did not destroy any major building in the name of tourism. But tourism is going to pet by the reason of the coastal road. So we are planning a lot of lands along the corridor to build tourism infrastructure. We are also going to have part of the infrastructure where people will just go free, not to pay a lot of money. That is what is happening now over the tourism sites that are not supposed to be called as such. So we're going to develop a lot of tourism sites, we're going to develop factories,